Hey guys, feeling a little bit under the weather today. I've got like a head cold going on, but it's Wednesday, so I'm bringing a new video to you guys because why the heck not? And it's not like I'm keeling over or anything. So yeah, I am kind of under the weather though, so I was like, what's a nice, easy for me to talk about topic today? And of course, my brain immediately went to scary movies. Yay! Scary movies are my favorite thing. Well, one of my favorite things. I have a lot of favorite things. You might have noticed. Anyway, I just went and saw It, the first half of It. Seriously, Stephen King, seriously. You couldn't have warned us that that was going to be half the story. Like, okay, so originally It was a TV series, serial thing. It was a two-part thing. And you watched half one week and half the next week. And that was mostly because it was TV. And the book, It, hang on, I've actually got a copy of it that my mom gave me for my birthday because she's awesome. So the book, It, yeah, that's the book. Compare it to my face. Does it, see, meh. Book be thick. So when you've only got like an hour and a half slot on TV, it makes sense to split that up into two parts. And the narrative itself happens basically in two parts-ish. Anyway, it's a Stephen King book, so it's never that simple, but yeah. So it made sense for TV, but you've got like a movie. Did you really need to split it in half? But yeah, It, not one of my favorite scary movies, just not. Like, I'll probably go see the second half if only because I like the characters a lot, but just, no. Don't pull that with me, sir. Don't pull that with me. I hate it when books and movies do that. Like, ugh. Anyway, so yeah, scary movies are one of my favorite things. And I decided that I was going to talk about that because that's easy for me to keep my brain on track with. I think the first scary movie I actually went to see, like went to a theater to see, was this one over here. Got a poster for it. Ouija. Oh, it's backwards. But yeah, the movie Ouija, which was not a very good movie. It was not a very good movie, but it's going to have a place in my heart because it was the first scary movie I ever saw. And it was right after I left the Mormons too, so it was like this big deal where I could like go see the spooky movies and watch all those spooky movies on my computer because I wasn't dealing with my mom thinking that it was against the church anymore. It was so cool. And like, okay, admittedly, not a great movie. The sequel was way better. If you actually went and saw Ouija 2, it was much better. But yeah, I went and I saw Ouija, and that started a whole series of spooky movies that I have now watched and enjoyed. I actually watched a couple of them at Robin's house before I left that my mom didn't actually know about. Sorry, Mom. So like the first actual scary movie I really saw, like not went to see, but just watched, was the old 80s Children of the Corn, like the very first Children of the Corn, which is another Stephen King based movie. And I wanted to watch that one because Children of the Corn, I was a big Stephen King fan in high school. I'm still a big Stephen King fan, but I don't idolize him the way I used to. Like, he was the first horror author I ever really read. So I was like very intensely, like he was my idol for a little while, and it's cringy to think back on, like, ugh, but yeah, still one of my favorite horror authors. I wouldn't put him as high on my list of favorite authors as I used to, but yeah, that's just a me personally having a change of taste thing. So I saw Children of the Corn in Robin's basement on her laptop on Hulu, which was free at that point. You could get free Hulu back then. It started as a free streaming service where you didn't have to pay for anything. And that was why everybody loved it. Now they make you pay for it because, of course. screw you, monetization, seriously. And like, we watched Children of the Corn, and I didn't get to see the last 20 minutes of it because I wasn't over there just as a friend visit. I was over there with my parents as my parents were visiting with her parents. So like, we get to the last 20 minutes of the movie and we have to leave. And I'm like, well, crap. When am I gonna finish this? Because like, I had this weird thing where if somebody else was doing it, I could join in. But like, I couldn't do the thing that I wasn't technically allowed to do myself. It was a weird mental block thing. And so I was sitting at home trying to figure out how this movie ends, which meant that I didn't see the weird, cringy last 20 minutes of that movie. Like, if you like cheesy 80s movies, you will probably like Children of the Corn. It's just chock full of 80s cheesiness, and it's another one of those movies that I can acknowledge is not like the best movie ever, or even pretending that's close to it. But I've got a little soft spot right here for it. It's cute. It's one of the first scary movies I actually saw. And that started a whole nother series of sneaking over to Robin's house on sleepovers and watching spooky movies at her house. Like, that was how I watched Friday the 13th, was she eventually convinced me that it would not get us in trouble to watch Friday the 13th at her house. So we watched it, and the twist at the end really got me, and I was super excited because, oh my gosh, I had seen this classic horror movie now. Yay! And so now we've got like a whole list of spooky movies we've watched at her house. There was one about a scary tooth fairy that I can't remember. One that was kind of like Shutter Island, only instead of an asylum, this woman was like a nanny at this creepy old children's home. And that, I'll have to look the title up for that one and tell you guys next week, because that's one that I actually do recommend watching. I thought it was really good. And then there was another one about a possessed grandma. Like, literally, that was the plot. Grandma becomes possessed by demon in her house. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful either. And I don't know that I would rewatch it, but I'm glad I watched it at least once. So yeah, that's me rambling on about my favorite genre of things. I'll probably talk about spooky books next week, because honestly, I've got a whole list of those that I like too. Plus then I can have an excuse to do a bookshelf tour. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize for the throat voice thing. Anyway, I'll see you all next week. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit better. Have a good week.